In your kits, if you want to get that bag that has the bead, and all of our friends, if you have your beads and string from your kit, you can grab that.
Our craft actually started with my mother-in-law, who was a great lady, and she called it her prayer beads. And you make your prayer beads, and it's kind of fun because you can make a long one, a short one. You can use different colors. The main thing that you want to do is not make them real tight so that you can move them. Some people may call them their stress beads also, but I don't know if you can see this. This is the finished product. And what you do is you move these beads, and this was actually hers, and you would say a prayer, and then you move the bead. And it can go up or down. And you can decorate it if you want to. Some people will put a little keychain holder. You can put it on your keys or on your backpack. And it's easy to make. Sometimes it can be a little hard to get it started, but I think we've learned a few ways on how to make it a little simpler. But you want to make sure you always leave room so that you can move your beads up and down. Okay, does anybody have any questions yet so that you can kind of see what it is? I know that some of you have done this before, but this is probably about a foot long. Some people have made them real short, only with 4 or 5 beads, okay? So, to get started, does everybody have their string? And I tried to get some different colored string so it would show up a little bit easier. If anybody gets real frustrated, try to grab a piece of Scotch tape and just tape the ends so that they're a little bit more secure and pointy is a good word, because you're ultimately going to cut these off, so it doesn't matter what's on the end.
If you take, my tape is really clear, but I just put my thread on the tape, and you can do this with Scotch tape, or that kind of white masking tape works too. And you just kind of roll it, and it makes the end of your thread much more pointy and secure. So I did that on one end, and then same thing, I'll do it on the other end. Maybe. Okay, and that's that.
Okay, ready? Miss Barbara kind of has it ready for us. We're gonna fold it in half and put the ends together and then pull back like she just did and go down maybe an inch, no more than 2 inches, and hold it like she has it so there's a little loop at the top. And then wrap it around your finger, your index finger. And then what you're going to do is a little knot. So you need to then stick it in underneath and then pull it so that you have a little loop at the top. Does everybody have a little loop? Okay, there's a couple different ways that you can make these knots. you can just, if you have your string, see I have my 2 pieces. Sometimes if you just do like you're making your shoelaces when you're tying your shoes, and just do a big loop, oh, do a big loop and then stick it in there. What is the old story of the rabbit and the hat?
Rabbit. Yep, the rabbit chased, or is it the, I don't, something chases the rabbit around the tree.
To
Was how
tie
I
their
read it.
shoes.
Yep. And friends, if you still have your Scotch tape, one thing that we learned last year when we did it with the oldest Sunday school class is if you take a little bit of Scotch tape and you tape, you're going to do yours so that your loop is away from you. I'm going to do mine backwards so that you can see the beads when Miss Donna tells us how to do that. But you're going to tape your loop, and you don't have to do this. It just makes it a little bit easier so you don't have to hold on to the thread, but you're going to want to tape your loop to the table if you can, if you have a table that you're working on where the tape won't damage it. But if you do that, then your string's kind of taken care of and you don't have to worry about holding on to it. It frees up your hands a little bit.
Is everybody ready? A thumbs up, everybody? Yes? Good job. Okay. So everybody has it laid out like Miss Barbara. Okay. So you have your 2 strings and they're spread apart a little bit. And you can pick up, everybody has different colored beads. So if you ever make another one, I'm going to make one with Halloween colors. If you have beads, you can make it all black or all blue or red and green for Christmas. This one is going to be a multicolored one. So you pick up your first bead and you're just going to take 1 string. Doesn't matter which one you're going to take. You want to put your 1 bead in 1 string. Okay. Now here comes the little bit tricky. I want you to take the other string that does not have a bead on it. And you can pull back the bead a little bit away from the knot if you want, or you can keep it up there at the top. What you're going to do is with that extra string that doesn't have a bead on it, you're going to stick it through the bead again.
In the opposite direction.
Thank you, Miss Barbara.
So if your first string is going through this way, and I find for me it's a little easier to keep the bead close to the end, but that's just me. So you're going to take your other string and go the opposite way, kind of like cars passing each other on the street. So they crisscross inside the bead.
And then sometimes I put it down on the table, Miss Barbara. There you go. And spread out your circle. There you go.
And Miss Donna, can I keep pushing it toward the knot? I just don't want to make it too tight, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Does everybody see what Miss Barbara's doing? Does everybody?
I'm rolling it closer to my knot, But this is where we kind of had some trouble last year is the kids pulled them really tight and then they didn't slide so good. But if you leave a little bit of space, you'll have plenty of room to slide your beads.
Good job, everybody. Okay, now it gets really easy and real fun. Now pick another bead, whichever color you want. Pick up one of your strings and you're going to put it in the bead and kind of push it up about halfway, but not all the way to the knot. Then you grab the other string and you do exactly like we did on that first bead and feed it in the opposite way. And pull. And then push your bead up a little bit closer to your first bead. So now you guys should have 2 beads on there. And what we're going to keep doing is putting the beads on so that we use up our beads. Is everybody okay? Does everybody have the 2 beads on there? Thumbs up, everybody. Okay. That's what you're going to be doing is crisscrossing your string. Just make sure you always do one and then do the other bead. So go ahead and grab your bead. Feed it through about halfway. Grab your other string. Make sure it's crisscrossed, because if it's not crisscrossed, the beads won't go up and down. So if you want to, some of you I know could go faster. Some of you may want to think about which bead color you want to use next. But you're just going to do this until you've used up your beads. Miss Barbara's doing a great job showing us. Thank you, Miss Barbara. I'm so glad you have that.
You're welcome. I think I'm going to put 8 on mine. Let's see. Red, orange, yellow, green.
You can also put this by your desk if you're still homeschooling. And have it by there in case you start to get a little frustrated with a class because something's not going right, that you could do that with one of your short ones.
I will say these make a great quiet fidget tool. If you're somebody who likes to have a little fidget tool nearby, I know we do that at our house. So this makes a great fidget tool because you can just quietly sit there while you listen and string your beads back and forth. You can even use it to help you if you're learning something in class. Each time you hear something important, you can slide your bead over and say it in your mind to help you remember what you just learned. It could be
I love that.
Isn't that awesome?
Oh my gosh. And this is something I'm using, just some ribbon. Miss Barbara has the string. It's very easy. You could get big beads. You could get very creative with the different kind of beads that you want to use. If you guys want to make different ones, these make great gifts. If you want to make one for mom or dad, and it would be something special because you guys made it, you guys thought about it. Remember how you made a knot at the top? You're going to take, you've got the two ends and all your beads are on there. And remember, you don't need to worry about the Scotch tape because we can cut those off if you did the Scotch tape. What you want to do is, you've got it to the end and your beads are loose. They're not real tight. You want to take both ends of your string and you're going to make a knot, but you want to make it, not right there at the end, Miss Barbara, a little ways up, just in case. Because we want to be able to cut off the Scotch tape, or we want to have a little bit of a tail, because sometimes people may put a charm on the end if they want to, a fish or a cross or a flower. So you're going to take it, but you want to leave enough room for your beads to be able to move also. So you're going to do another knot at the bottom, but make sure you leave some room. And you can do like you do with your shoelaces. However, you can get a knot to tie both strings together to make a knot so that your beads will stop at the top and at the bottom.
So friends, I did the same kind of knot where I sort of wrapped it around my finger, and then I take my ends and I just slip it through that loop that I made with my finger. And now I actually have a double knot. I did
And
it.
that's okay too.
Yep.
How are we, everybody? Does everybody have them ready? Okay. Remove the Scotch tape and hold them up. Yay! Look at you guys. I love it. Okay, does everybody want to move their first bead? Scoot it down or scoot it up.
Awesome. That looks awesome, Aiden. Look at that. So cool. Miss Donna, thank you so much for sharing this. I love this craft. This is awesome.